like up to speed,
Yeah.
which you
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like you got to bring the canter up to the level of the flying change, not the flying change down to the level of the canter. Okay, trot him again. Flying changes. What's that lady, the little teeny lady with the pony at your barn?
Lori Cole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Lori, stop doing flying changes. You can't even canter.
She's selling that one and buying some in that are used.
That's a little bay one.
Yeah.
She's maybe not the right temperament for that
Right.
work anyway.
Right.
Good. Range shorter right away. When you're ready, take them large around the whole arena. And I want you to work in there, like, don't buy it, challenge that engine of his. Yeah. You came to buy a Porsche, you didn't come to buy a Hyundai. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no bait and switch here, my friend. I know what I'm after. You're not selling me on a piece of crap car. I want the top of the line right now. And I want it for a good price, meaning not a lot of work on my end. Good. So I want you to just keep thinking in there, RPMs, higher and higher. Yep. So right now, I look at that with the frame and I kind of think, just on the short side, he was maybe not quite round enough. There he's hitting it again. That to me has very little to do with the height of neck
Okay.
and all to do with the rotation of the pole.
Okay, yeah.
So that's just about going, I need to make sure the RPMs stay high, because next thing I have to do is really close the hand. Might have to work the bit a little left and right, flex them maybe a little out and in, and go, I need your jaw a little softer. I don't want your neck lower. I don't want you dipping and diving down. Good, there it is. So I'm really isolating the roundness structure of saying, this is pole flexion. This isn't neck adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Super. Because, I mean, it's not always that it, that, because sometimes it does need a neck adjustment, but in a sense, it's really, the bigger culprit is the smaller culprit, the pole and jowl. Way harder, smaller, tighter, more stress-loaded area, more sensitive, way harder to get to flex and move than the base and neck. Base and neck, way easy. And horses learn fast. If I drop this base and neck down, I can alleviate some pressure on my pole. I can get some pressure off my mouth, literally. Touch it with the whip. Yeah, good. I don't buy it. Good. Go sell that somewhere else. Right. Doesn't have to be in trouble, you know what I mean, in that moment. I just go, no way, man, you're not fooling me. You could use a little shoulder in position in there, a little like we did with the canter depart, where you just use a little bit of the bend as a kind of a leveraging stance. To go, I'm gonna make it hard for you to pull away from me with the neck. And it's not really any angle, no angle, because if he starts to swing out, he'll cheat through the back door a little too much. Good. Don't buy any of that, right? That's him feeling the heat in the kitchen get hotter, you know what I mean? And he's just kind of going, wait a minute. I thought I had this human trained. Good. Flex him left. Don't let him down. Don't ease up on that right rein. And no angle, but just working that little bit of flexion and bend. Good. Right. And then within that flexion left, good, little wiggling on both reins. Right. There might be hopefully more pressure in the right rein because I'm bending them onto that. But both reins can still activate and wiggle equally, in a sense, as far as how much. Keep that left flexion in there. There it is. Yeah. The bend, or really flexion, but bend in general, the idea. Bend shortens one side of the body and elongates the other, right? So in a sense, it kind of compromises the state of length to the body. It makes it harder to function if I don't allow the body to be straight. It's just like you or I, right? Look at the ceiling, easy. Touch your ear to your shoulder and look at the ceiling. Hard, uncomfortable. Kind of same idea. We lose the longitudinal kind of strength as we start to bend laterally. because we just can't use both sets of muscles on the left and right side of the body as equally strong anymore. Change rein again. So we use a lot of that against them in those moments that they want to longitudinally resist. And his resistance is pretty benign.
Yeah.
You know, he's not super malicious about it. He's just testing the water here or there. And it's really probably on his end more evasion. He's just going, hey lady, there's an easier way to be doing this. Let me show you. But it's not the right way that we want him doing it. So that little bit of bend can go a long way in body control in terms of that length being able to kind of pull away from you. Challenge that right flexion. Yeah, no loss of engine as you challenge it. Good. Engine. Yep. Right, not buying into it. Good. Yeah. Super. It's kind of like those, I can't remember what cartoon that was, the little, he was the little short guy, Sam, and he had the two pistols. And the
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. And he'd pull his pistols out and he'd start shooting at the other cartoon's feet and yell at him to dance. And you're kind of doing a bit the same thing with him right now. You just literally kind of take the rein short, the gun is a little bit your pistols, yeah, and you're kind of saying to those hind legs, hey, come on. Yeah, good, nice, get to work. Super. Flex them right the minute you feel them start to climb up a little bit. Yeah. And again, like I was saying earlier on one of the breaks, when I'm after a bit there, I know it's just laps right now. Circles and long sides and things, and not that many transitions, although the transitions would be good too. But what I'm after is really going, let's just really set a baseline, a standard. This is the trot, this is the shape, this is the length of stride, this is the height, this is the speed, this is the balance. Like this is the feeling that has to just be there, because nothing's functioning inherently incorrectly. So because of that, I don't need these transitions to kind of manipulate him into functioning more correctly. I'm just going to put this structure on. Even though he's knocking at the structure, trying to break free of it, he's kind of resigning to the structure all at the same time. He's understanding it. His body's going to the place when it needs to, or when it kind of gives up a little bit of argument. But it's not a structural understanding argument. So I'm kind of thinking, I might just try to stay on the gas and just power around and see if he just clicks through it, which he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I always think of that as kind of with the young ones in particular, and I might look at him a bit like a young horse, especially if his dressage training, to the dressage training, let's say, that his dressage training's a little sketchy, we don't quite know, so we kind of treat it a bit like he's younger or less educated. And we go like logging in these baselines. We've kind of pushed the work level up, reins are shorter, tempo's faster, you know, we have this bend in there, we want a certain amount of compression. That might be a little more workload than he's used to on his body. We've challenged it, so now we're just plateauing it. We're waiting for it to feel really solid before we add the next thing, which then literally could be your ladder work or even another notch of compression or collection on his body. Good. No slower. Change rate one more time. Good. Tap at him. Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Nice. Notice him kind of drive rounder, right? When you tapped at those hind legs, right. One more long side. Not too big, just that he doesn't start to swim away from himself with the front leg, where he gets a little leverage going just in the length of stride. Bend him left. Yeah. Help take away his length of body. Good, good. Super. Walk again. Nice. It's because I'm just looking at that going, man, he's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And easy on a lot of levels with things if I get that to just click in, where it's like I just pick up the canter and he's that little machine-like, you know, repetition, one stride after the next. And same with the trot there, he just locks into that and starts buzzing with it.
Okay.
Piece of cake and fun.